Look, you wake up. What's the first thing you feel? That pull, that heavy blanket, that voice in your head telling you to hit snooze, to scroll, to just exist for a little longer. That's not you. That's the weakness trying to creep in. That's the laziness, and it's a parasite. You think success just happens. You think champions were born on a couch, scrolling through endless feeds, dreaming about what they could do. No, they were in the arena grinding, failing, getting back up. They were fighting that internal war against the soft, easy path. Laziness isn't just about not doing work. It's about not living. It's about letting your potential rot inside you. It's about watching your dreams fade because you couldn't be bothered to stand up and chase them. It's a slow, silent killer. It chokes out your ambition, suffocates your drive, and leaves you with nothing but regret. You have a choice right now. You can let that weakness win. You can let it dictate your day, your week, your life. You can become another statistic, another person who had potential but let it slip through their fingers because the couch was too comfortable, the phone too distracting, the effort too much. Or you can kill it. You can snap out of it. You can decide that the discomfort of growth is better than the pain of regret. You can decide that your future is worth fighting for, worth bleeding for, worth sacrificing for. It's not about motivation. Motivation is fleeting. It's about discipline. It's about making the hard choices when you don't feel like it. It's about doing the work when no one is watching. It's about conquering that inner voice that tells you to be weak. Every single day, you're either feeding your discipline or feeding your laziness. Which one do you think is going to build the life you actually want? Which one is going to make you respected? Which one is going to make you free? Stop making excuses. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is now. The perfect moment is when you decide to stand up, shake off the chains of comfort, and become the man or woman you were meant to be. Kill your laziness before it kills you. Let's talk about the enemy within. It's not some external force, not a rival, not a bad market. It's that insidious whisper, that heavy blanket, that gravitational pull towards inaction. It's what you call laziness, but that word is too soft, too gentle for what it truly is. It is a parasite, a weakness, and it's feeding on you right now. Think about a parasite. It latches on, unseen, and slowly, systematically, drains the life from its host. It doesn't kill quickly. It debilitates, weakens, and consumes resources that were meant for growth, for strength, for vitality. That's exactly what laziness does to your ambition, your drive, your very potential. It doesn't announce itself with a roar. It creeps in with a sigh, a justification, a just 5 more minutes. It tells you the work can wait, the effort isn't necessary, that comfort is king. And every time you listen, it sinks its fangs a little deeper. This weakness isn't just a lack of energy, it's an active force of decay. It convinces you that the monumental task ahead is too large, too daunting, too exhausting. It inflates the smallest obstacle into an insurmountable wall. It makes the simple act of starting feel like lifting a mountain. And why? Because it thrives on your stagnation. Your growth is its death. When you move, when you act, when you push, you starve this parasite. But when you yield, when you procrastinate, when you choose the path of least resistance, you are feeding it, making it stronger, allowing it to take a firmer grip on your mind and your future. It drains your mental energy first. The constant internal debate, the battle between what you know you should do and what the parasite wants you to do, is exhausting. It saps your focus, leaving you scattered and ineffective even when you finally force yourself into action. Then it moves to your ambition, dulling your edge, making your grand visions seem like childish fantasies. Why strive for greatness when mediocrity is so much easier? Why build an empire when you can just watch one on a screen? This is the parasite speaking, whispering its poison into your ear, convincing you that your dreams are too big, your capabilities too small, and what about your potential? Every human being is born with a unique spark, a capacity for achievement, for impact. Laziness is the damp cloth that smothers that spark. It prevents you from acquiring new skills, from honing existing ones, from stepping into uncomfortable situations where true growth occurs. It keeps you small, contained, safe within the confines of what you already know, and what requires no effort. It's a cage, built not by external forces, but by your own internal surrender to this debilitating weakness. You see others achieving, building, conquering, and the parasite whispers, "They're different. They're lucky. You can't." It's a lie designed to keep you trapped, to keep you from realizing the power that lies dormant within you. The temporary comfort it offers is the most dangerous illusion. That extra hour in bed, that endless scroll, that postponed task. It feels good in the moment, a fleeting hit of ease, but that comfort is a mirage. It leads directly to the gnawing pain of regret, the bitter taste of missed opportunities, the slow, agonizing realization that Your life is not what it could have been. The parasite doesn't care about your long-term well-being. It only cares about its immediate sustenance, which is your inaction. This isn't a philosophical debate. This is a war, an internal war against a weakness that actively seeks to destroy your potential. You must recognize it for what it is, not just a bad habit, but an enemy, a drain, a parasitic force that will consume you if you let it. Your first step to true power, to true freedom, is to acknowledge this enemy and commit to its absolute eradication. Let's cut through the noise, the motivational posters, and the soft-handed gurus. You want success, real success, the kind that makes people look at you differently, the kind that buys you freedom, the kind that echoes through your life with power and purpose. Then understand this fundamental truth. It demands grinding, and it demands that you fight, relentlessly, against the easy path. There's no shortcut to the top of the mountain. No secret elevator. Every single person who has ever achieved anything worth mentioning, anything substantial, anything that truly separates them from the herd, did it by putting in the work. Not just work, but the grind. This isn't about showing up for 8 hours and collecting a paycheck. This is about showing up when you're tired, when you're uninspired, when the world is telling you to quit. It's about pushing past the point of comfort, past the perceived limit, into the territory where growth actually happens. It's the extra hour, the early morning, the late night, the weekend sacrificed, the social event missed. It's the relentless, often thankless, pursuit of mastery and execution. The easy path, on the other hand, is a seductive lie. It's the path of least resistance, paved with immediate gratification and fleeting pleasures. It's the path of good enough, of procrastination, of endless scrolling, of numbing entertainment. It's the path where you avoid discomfort at all costs, where you choose the soft option, the quick fix, the effortless solution. Society in many ways is designed to funnel you down this path. Everything is optimized for convenience, for ease, for instant access. But convenience is the enemy of greatness. Ease is the assassin of ambition. To truly succeed, you must wage war against this easy path. You must consciously, deliberately, choose the harder option. When your mind tells you to rest, you push. When your body aches, you find another gear. When the task seems overwhelming, you break it down and you start. This isn't about being a masochist. It's about building an unbreakable will. It's about forging character in the fires of discipline. Every time you choose the grind over the easy way, you are reinforcing a neural pathway of power. You are telling yourself and the universe that you are not a victim of circumstance or fleeting emotion. You are a master of your own destiny. Consider the champions in any field: business, sports, art, war. Did they get there by taking it easy? Did they achieve their status by avoiding discomfort? No, they embraced the grind. They understood that every rep, every late night, every rejection, every failure was a brick in the foundation of their future empire. They knew that the easy path leads only to mediocrity, to regret, to a life unfulfilled. The easy path is crowded with the masses, with those who had potential but lacked the courage to suffer for their dreams. The fight against the easy path is an internal one. It's a battle against your own impulses, your own desire for comfort. It's about recognizing that fleeting pleasure often comes at the cost of lasting fulfillment. It's about understanding that true freedom isn't found in avoiding work, but in having the power to do the work, to create, to build, to dominate. This internal struggle is where real strength is forged. Every time you conquer that urge to be soft, you become stronger, more capable, more deserving of the rewards that await those who dare to put in the uncomfortable, relentless effort. Success isn't given, it's earned, and it's earned through the sweat, the sacrifice, and the unwavering commitment to the grind, always fighting against the seductive pull of the easy path. This is the price of entry. This is the cost of becoming truly exceptional. Let's strip away the pleasantries and confront a brutal truth. Laziness isn't just a minor candid silent assassin of your very essence, a corrosive agent that eats away at the bedrock of who you could be. Its most devastating consequence is the systematic destruction of your potential, leaving in its wake nothing but the bitter, lingering taste of regret. What is potential? It's the raw, unrefined power within you. It's the unwritten book, the unbuilt empire, the unachieved physique, the unmastered skill. It's the capacity for greatness that resides in every human being, waiting to be unleashed through effort, discipline, and relentless action. Potential isn't a guarantee, it's an invitation to transform possibility into reality. But laziness, that insidious force, actively rejects this invitation. It's the heavy chain that binds your capabilities, preventing them from ever seeing the light of day. It whispers that the journey is too long, the effort too great, the risk too high, convincing you to stay comfortably within the confines of what is known and effortless. effortless. This isn't a passive process. Laziness doesn't just sit there. It actively works against you. It prevents you from taking the first step, from learning the new skill, from enduring the necessary discomfort. It tells you to postpone, to defer, to wait for a mythical better time that never arrives. Every time you succumb to its pull, you are not merely standing still. You are actively retreating from your own growth. You are choosing stagnation over evolution, comfort over challenge, and in doing so, you are allowing your potential to atrophy, to wither, to die a slow, agonizing death. The muscles of your ambition weaken, the sharpness of your mind dulls, and the fire of your drive flickers into embers. The cost of this surrender is staggering. You watch as others, perhaps no more talented than you, surpass you. They build, they create, they achieve, not because they are inherently superior, but because they chose to fight the laziness that you embraced. You see opportunities pass you by, doors close that could have led to unimaginable heights, simply because you lacked the immediate will to push them open. This isn't about external forces holding you back. It's about the internal enemy that convinced you to stay put, and then comes the regret. It's not a fleeting emotion. It's a heavy, suffocating blanket that settles over your soul. Regret for the chances not taken, for the words not spoken, for the efforts not made. It's the agonizing realization of what if I had pushed harder? What if I had started sooner? What if I hadn't let that weakness win? This regret is far more painful and enduring than any discomfort you would have experienced by simply doing the work. The temporary ease of laziness is a fleeting illusion, a sugar rush that quickly fades, leaving behind a bitter aftertaste of missed opportunities, an unfulfilled promise. Regret is the phantom limb of your unlived potential. You feel the ache of something that should have been there, something you know you were capable of, but which was never allowed to materialize. It's the weight of knowing you settled, that you chose the easy way out, and that the consequences are irreversible. This isn't a light burden. It's a soul-crushing realization that you and itself, your most powerful self, remained locked away, imprisoned by your own inaction. The comfort of laziness is a lie, a cheap trick that trades fleeting ease for a lifetime of gnawing sorrow. It kills your potential, and then it leaves you to live with the ghost of what could have been. Every single moment, you are standing at a crossroads. It's not a grand dramatic decision that happens once in a lifetime. It's a continuous, relentless series of micro-decisions, each one nudging you down one of two paths. One path leads to weakness, to comfort, to stagnation, to a life dictated by external forces and fleeting impulses. The other path demands a fight, a constant battle for your future, for your potential, for the life you truly envision. This isn't a suggestion. It's a fundamental truth of existence. You are always choosing. Choosing weakness means surrendering. It means letting the soft voice in your head win. It means hitting snooze, scrolling endlessly, postponing the difficult conversation, avoiding the challenging task. It means opting for the immediate, fleeting pleasure over the long-term, hard-won reward. When you choose weakness, you are actively ceding control of your life. You become a passenger, tossed about by the currents of circumstance, a victim of your own unmanaged impulses. You complain about your situation, about the unfairness of the world, about what you don't have, but you fail to acknowledge the fundamental choice you make every day to remain in that state. Weakness is a self-imposed prison, built with the bricks of procrastination and cemented with the mortar of excuses. It leads to a life of quiet desperation, of unfulfilled dreams, of watching others achieve what you only fantasized about. It makes you a spectator in your own life, rather than the protagonist. But there is another path, the path of fighting for your future. This path is not easy. It is paved with discomfort, with sacrifice, with relentless effort. It demands that you stand up when you want to sit down, that you push when you want to quit, that you confront your fears instead of running from them. This is the path of discipline, of self-mastery, of taking absolute responsibility for every outcome in your life. It means waking up with purpose, attacking your goals with ferocity, and embracing the grind as a necessary component of your ascent. When you choose to fight, you are not just working towards an external goal. You are forging an unbreakable will within yourself. You are building resilience, sharpening your mind, and hardening your spirit. This fight isn't against others. It's against the weaker version of yourself. It's against the part of you that craves ease, that fears failure, that seeks validation from external sources. Every single time you make the hard choice, to work out when you're tired, to study when you'd rather relax, to confront a problem instead of avoiding it, you are winning a battle in this internal war, and each victory strengthens you, preparing you for the next larger challenge. This accumulation of small disciplined choices is what builds genuine power, genuine capability, genuine freedom. Your future is not some predetermined destiny. It is a direct consequence of the choices you make right now, in this moment. Are you going to succumb to the gravitational pull of weakness, allowing yourself to be defined by what you don't do? Or are you going to stand up, square your shoulders, and fight for the future you demand? The choice is yours, and it's being made with every breath, every action, every decision. There is no middle ground. You are either building yourself up, or you are letting yourself decay. You are either moving forward, or you are falling behind. Choose wisely, because the consequences are absolute. Let's be brutally honest about something that's often misunderstood: the difference between motivation and discipline. You see all these feel-good videos, the pump-up speeches, the temporary bursts of energy that make you feel like you can conquer the world. That's motivation. It's a spark. It's a fleeting emotion. And while it can be useful to get you started, relying on it for long-term success is like building a skyscraper on a foundation of sand. It will crumble. Motivation is a mood. It's dependent on how you feel when you wake up, what kind of news you heard, whether you had a good night's sleep, or if the sun is shining. It's an unreliable variable. You're motivated when you're excited about a new idea, when you've just seen someone else succeed, or when you're feeling a temporary surge of inspiration. But what happens when that excitement fades? What happens when the idea gets hard? When you face rejection? When the weather is miserable, and you just don't feel like it? That's when motivation abandons you. It packs its bags and leaves you stranded, looking for another hit of inspiration to get going again. And if you wait for it, you'll be waiting for it. Discipline, on the other hand, is not a feeling. It is a decision. It is a commitment. It is the unwavering adherence to a chosen path, regardless of how you feel. Discipline is showing up when you're tired, when you're frustrated, when you're uninspired. It's the relentless execution of necessary tasks, even when every fiber of your being screams for comfort or distraction. It's the cold, hard logic that dictates your actions, overriding the emotional whims of the moment. Think of it this way: motivation is the initial burst of fuel that gets a rocket off the launch pad. It's powerful, exciting, and necessary for liftoff. But discipline is the guidance system, the consistent thrust, the structural integrity that keeps that rocket on course, pushing through the atmosphere, battling gravity, and ultimately reaching its destination. Without that consistent, unyielding discipline, the rocket veers off course, burns out, and crashes back to Earth. True success, lasting success, is built on discipline. It's built on the thousands of small, uncomfortable choices you make every single day. It's the choice to wake up early, to hit the gym, to study that extra hour, to make that difficult phone call, to refine that skill, to save that money, to resist the urge for instant gratification. These aren't choices made because you feel like it. They are choices made because you have committed to a higher standard, a higher purpose. You do them because you understand that consistency, even in the face of internal resistance, is the only way to build anything of value. When you cultivate discipline, you become immune to the emotional roller coaster of motivation. You don't need to be pumped up to perform. You simply perform. You become reliable, not just to others, but to yourself. You build trust in your own ability to execute, to follow through, to do what needs to be done. This self-trust is the bedrock of confidence, and confidence is the fuel for even greater achievements. Stop waiting for motivation to strike. Stop chasing that fleeting high. Start building discipline. Start making the hard choices, consistently, day in and day out. Because when the motivation inevitably fades, as it always will, discipline is the only thing that will keep you on the path to becoming the dominant force you were meant to be. It's the difference between a temporary surge and an unstoppable force. Choose to be unstoppable.